Hi, hi. Two things. So, topic. I am at the moment working on content and just updating my network, my social network, and I wrote the name on a old group that I did. I changed their name to Beautiful Women Art Project, and to my delight, a friend of mine, from an old friend of mine from Israel, from my childhood, who's now a journalist, texted me and said, "Why are you calling such a project Beautiful Women? Didn't you have a more derogatory or more obscene name for such a project?" And basically, this is what she said. She said a little bit more nicer, but a little bit more aggressive. So I decided to make a video. I answered her in writing, so you can go and check it on Facebook. But I would like to have an answer also like this. Why am I calling a project about refugees Beautiful Women? And the basic idea is really one is, how do I choose name? How do I choose name for projects? It's really either very simple process of just a name comes up and this is what I write, and sometimes it can take a long time. Sometimes I just run the name by certain people that I know that will give me a decent feedback, if it's good or bad. And there's basically, for me, the name has to be communicative, it has to be straightforward, it has to be catchy. I'm not giving much attention to the name. The project needs to be communicative. That's my main goal in the project. So if the topic is heavy and challenging, I'd rather give it an easy, simple name and catchy that it might communicate. And this goes directly to this project. So the topic of the project is refugee women refugee, which is really, I didn't know how deep and how I just literally didn't know a lot of things about the problems that women refugees. So to be a refugee is anyway no delight, but in small words, but for women it's even more. It's just there's a layer of complexity and about problems and difficulties that women refugees just go through, and this is just, I mean, I literally don't know. I think as a man who lives in Switzerland, literally there's things that I don't know, and honestly, I would love it if I wouldn't have to know about it, but I do. But this is one of the reasons I do projects like this, is that I can dig in a little bit stronger and see with it. But the main core of this project is how can I communicate such a topic in a different way? So instead of using all this sadness and horrorness, if you can call it, this ugliness of the topic, and how can I communicate it? How can I bring it out of the corners of left and right? How can I bring it to the mainstream and say, okay, let's deal with it. Let's deal with it with less emotions, much more empathy. Not that empathy is, but let's not fight with it, but let's work with it. Let's see what's happening. Let's deal with it as grown-ups. And this is, and for that I needed the catchy name. I needed something that will make a certain kind of itch, but in the other way also bring it to the mainstream, create a certain kind of neutrality. Usually when we speak about beautiful women, we just think beautiful women, we think Hollywood, we think models, we think Instagram, and so on. And this is where the idea comes for the name. Is like, those women, they could be just that if they wanted to. If they weren't in the middle of hell and heaven, in refugee camp, or in between on the road, maybe they the idea is how can I bring normality and banality to the topic? Not to the topic, but how can I bring the topic to the normal, to the mainstream? And I think that with choosing this name, I did it. It's already working because people are talking about it, but in a different way. I think through that I'm portraying the ladies and I'm showing their portraits, and I'm not showing pictures. I'm not digging into their lives. I'm not digging into the story, to the heaviness of the story, but I'm showing them as I see them now, and I'm trying to communicate them. I think that it starts working if it moves people to positive or negative. If it moves them, then the project is working, and that's why I'm actually grateful for this feedback that I got from my friend Nili. Thank you, Nili. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Please leave comments, text me, like and share the stuff that I do, please. And if you have it in your heart and your wallet, please donate to sao.ngo. That's the organization that I worked with in Lesbos, and they have 2 shelters for women in Lesbos and in Athens, and any things that you can donate, they will be happy to take. So please do it today. Bye-bye and see you soon.